Welcome to PC Tips Pro, and in today's video we are going to see how to create such glowing glass effect by just using HTML and CSS. Before getting into the video, if you guys haven't yet subscribed to the PC Tips Pro, please do subscribe. And now let's get started. So this is the basic type, and here we just need to add few things like the section tag in this, and make sure to use the start and end tags at the very beginning because there are chances that we might miss. And after the section, so I'm just giving this div container. Inside the div we are declaring this with a class, so we are giving the class name to be glass and the style to be, so in the style we are giving the property to be hyphen I, and with the value of 1, and closing this div tag. And let me also close this by using this, and then inside this div I'll be just creating another nested div, so closing the div tag before so that to avoid any confusions afterwards. And now give the class to be inner, and then again create another div inside this. So once you're using this nested divs, it's better to give the starting and ending tags at first, and declare this, give this class to be liquid. And once this is all done, we can just format this to look better. And right, so here we can just copy everything over here and paste it 2 times, because as we are creating 3 glasses, and the only change that you need to do is change the property value to be 2 and 3 this way. To reset, we might need to now go change the CSS code, so which is taking something like margin as the property, and we are giving it to be 0. We are basically setting all this properties to reset values, so padding to be 0 again, and then the box sizing should be set to border box. And after this is done, now we need to style each and every class or tags that we have created. So if you're just thinking like how these things work, and you need to know how these things work in deep, you can refer to the playlist of HTML and CSS, which I'll be mentioning in the description, so you can learn them for free on PC Tips Pro YouTube page. So here we can just now go to the we are going to style the section tag. So when I say section, so this will be styling everything inside the section. And here I'm setting the display property to flex, and then I want to justify the content property to be center, and I want to align everything, like align the items in the center, so I am using the property that is align items, and placing that in the center. After this, I want to give the height to be 100 VH, and my background color to be, so I want it to be black, so I'm gonna give this in the value hash 121212, and let me add the semicolon. And now let's see. So here we can see that previously, like when I didn't make any change to this, let me just remove this and show you the change. So when I'm just not using any change to this, and here you can see that the background is white, and once I have given this to be #121212, so this background changed to black. And then now let's style the class which we have created. So for doing that, I need to use the dot glass. Whenever I'm styling the classes, I'm going to use this dot. After dot, I'll be giving the class name, and the position for this, I'm mentioning it to be relative with a semicolon. And then now I just want to style this inner div, that is that which we have created. So again, here we are going to style this inner one also. So we are using this dot glass dot inner, and now in the curly braces, we'll be mentioning the property that is position. Again, I want this position to be relative, and then the width, so relative, so don't forget to give the semicolon. And then I want to give the width property to be something around 200 pixels, and height property to be around 400 pixels. And now I want this background color to be so it is something like black, but I want to change this opacity. I'm giving the RGBA value, so then giving this with a bracket 255 255 255, and A value to be 0.1. so this should create a box. Here we just need to add this P, so there was a typo, I just changed it now, and now this is how our output looks like. But we want 3 classes, so I just need to give some spacing in between these sections. So consider that each of this section, like each of this major div tag as a class. So I have three tags with a class as class. So I want the distance between each of the class, so I need to create a gap. Here I'm using the property gap and giving it to be 50 pixels. Now let's see how our output turns out. So this is how it is. So this looks well and good so far. Now we are going to add the border radius to this. Now let me just add something like border radius to my sections, like to my glasses, let's say. So initially I'm having this square, so something like a rectangle ones here, so I'm just gonna make them as glass. So border radius to be 40 pixels, and now I should give the semicolon. And then here let us just review our one. Let me just add others too. So my border radius is 40 pixels, and my border to be something like 8 pixels, and with the solid white color. If we have a full page view for this, so this looks something like this. And let us just make other changes also. That is, after this I want to style my same thing, that is inner, so inner inside the glass, but this is for before. So let me just use this double colon and just say it to be before. And now I'm just gonna give this content to be with quotes, and then the position to be absolute, and then I'm gonna give the width. So width of this comes out to be calc of 100%, and then hyphen 10 pixels. After this height, so height to be something around 30 pixels, and then border, so we need to give the border specifications, that is 10 pixel, and I want it to be solid #444. And let us also mention the border radius for this. The border radius comes out to be 50%. And after then the box shadow, let us give the box shadow also. So box shadow to be 0, 15 pixels, 0 and #222. So after then, like as we have given this border radius, so we are going to give the positioning also to this. Here top comes out to be -15 pixels, and the left comes out to be 50%, and you need to transform this 50% and 50% colon semicolon, and then we need to transform this with translate x. Let me just quickly give the translate x, capital X, and in the parenthesis we're going to give 50 -50% with the semicolon. And now let us just check how our output looks like. So this is how our output looks like, and now we need to go back and make a change, that is go here and change the color to be transparent. And now let us save this and check how this looks now. So here we are with our glasses successfully done. So after this we are doing the same thing with the glass inner after, and in a similar way we are giving the content and position to be absolute, with the top, left and width and height mentioned, that is 50 and 250 pixels, and we are giving the color to be black with the 0.1 opacity. And let's see the result over here. So this is how this looks after we make such changes to our CSS. And then now we are going to style this liquid div tag, that is which we have created, which is nested inside these two div tags. Here we are mentioning the position to be absolute, and then the top, left, right and bottom are mentioned for the positioning, and then the background color, so which is blue, that we are going to give because we want this liquid color. And then the border bottom left radius and right radius are given to be 30 pixels and 30 pixels, and we are using a filter of drop shadow. And here you can just now see, let us just change save these changes and now see, reload it, and so this should look something like this. So this looks like somehow water, and then we need to make few more changes to make it look even better. This gives us this glowing effect by using the filter, and now our aim is to get a circle over here which shows that this is a liquid. And for that we are using this liquid before, and here again the positioning is given to be absolute, and top, width and height are mentioned, with the top radius to be 50% and the background color. So let us just save this and see how this looks like. So this particular code should add a circle at bottom of all of these glasses. So here on the top of it, like we got this with the color to be dark blue, which shows it something like a 3D glass. So after doing this liquid before, we are going here to the liquid and adding the animation with the animation liquid 5 seconds, and which is linear one and repeats infinite time. And here we'll be adding this keyframes. Here we'll be giving this keyframes to be this animate liquid, which is the name that we have given for our animation. And when it is in between 0% to 20%, we are going to give the top 50 pixels from here, and for 50% to 70%, so the top is 320 pixels, and for 100% the top is 50 pixels. And now let us save these changes and look at how our output looks like. So this should look something like this, so, which is growing and again coming back to bottom. So but according to our aim, we need to provide some delay in between these classes. For that, we can add a line over here which says something like animation delay property. The value should be giving with the calc var hyphen I, because we have used this for our glasses in the HTML, if you remember. So we can even just scroll here and see. So we have used this property, and then we'll be giving the delay to be 1.25 seconds. And let us save this and check how this looks, and reload this, and now this should somehow look like. Don't forget to give this multiplication symbol. So and now let's save this and check. Now this should work. So this is now working as expected. So these things are growing and again coming back with a delay of 1.25 seconds. Now in order to even give the colors, we need to go to this glass.inner here, and again create an animation that is animate color, which is again having the similar things, but the name is we are giving it with a different name. And here we are declaring this with the 0. For the 0% we are giving the filter of hue rotate 0 degrees, and for 100% we are giving another filter, and then filter of hue rotate with 360 degrees. And after we doing this, in order to even we need to even give the delay for this animation. So as we have done before, let us just copy this similar thing and paste it over here below this. And now let us change our save our changes, and now let us reload this and check. So here is our glowing glass effect. This is how you can do this by just using HTML and CSS. This is all for today's video, guys. I hope you found this video useful to you, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to PC Tips Pro. Thank you for watching.